Now the latest from ITV News in the West Country with Sabet Chowdhury and Alex Lovell.
Hello and welcome to ITV News West Country.
Thank you for joining us. The headlines this Wednesday evening. The shocking rise in teenagers unable to read, how one Bristol school is tackling the crisis in illiteracy.
It shouldn't happen that there are students in secondary school who are struggling with their reading, but for a whole range of reasons, those children do exist.
A very good evening. The number of school children who are struggling to read at secondary school is rising. Teachers in the West Country say that in some cases they've had to teach phonics to students who should be preparing for their GCSE exams.
But one school in Bristol is fighting back and giving teenagers who are struggling special lessons in the hope of closing the reading gap. Victoria Davies has more.
At City Academy in Bristol, teachers are working hard to get their students reading. The number of children struggling to read is rising, and sometimes problems aren't picked up until secondary school. This student is 13.
I didn't really like reading because I would get bored really easily, and the small words and the small details, I used to not understand it properly. And then after having literacy lessons with my teachers, I actually started enjoying reading, and I finally read a book because I never read a book before. I just pretended.
But this child is not alone. At this school, there is a special intervention programme where children struggling to read are identified and given literacy lessons 2 to 3 times a week, tailored to their individual needs. That can mean teenagers preparing for GCSEs having phonics lessons. Something they should have learnt before they were 7.
It is shocking, and it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen that there are students in secondary school who are struggling with their reading, but for a whole range of reasons, those children do exist, and so we have to make sure that we are identifying them, we know who they are, and we put the support in place.
Evidence shows a child who reads for pleasure will do better at school. They'll have better social skills, as well as improved mental health, which is why helping students here in Bristol could be life-changing.
I can read fluently in my head, but when it comes out my mouth, usually I mistake words, I miss a line. It really affected my learning.
How do you feel now?
I'm really confident. My confidence were down low to really high now. Now I can fluently read instead of just hiding from the other of the class and not reading.
The reason we're facing a literacy crisis is complex, but evidence shows poverty can play a part in affecting a child's ability to read.
If you've got parents who are potentially working 2 jobs so they can put food on the table, they don't have necessarily the time or the headspace or the finances to be the reading role model that ideally we would like people to be at home, because books are expensive.
But now these students have been supported with their reading. It means they finally have the chance to thrive. Victoria Davies, ITV News, Bristol.